Thanks to Simply Safe for sponsoring today's episode. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Beside me is a 1930 Ford Model A with a turbocharged S2000 motor in it. Those are two things that probably shouldn't coexist, and yet, here we are. No. What also probably shouldn't be happening is us filming this episode in the middle of a parking lot. But that's what happens when your car breaks down in the middle of filming. Welcome to Big Time.
It's alright. It makes all the right noises. There is some like rattling going on, you know?
It's okay. I don't think this is a car that's supposed to be like polished, you know?
Yeah.
This is my buddy Ricky, and owner of this 1930s Model A rat rod. I met Ricky at a NASCAR race at Sonoma, and we hit it off and have been friends ever since. But here's the thing, I actually didn't know he was the guy who owned this car. Because as it turns out, I knew about this car before I knew about Ricky. The origin of this car actually started in the digital world. During production of the film Fury Road, the director, George Miller, needed some concept designs for the film. That's where Aaron Beck comes in. A super talented and popular designer and concept artist came up with a version of this car during that time. That design evolved and was eventually used in the Need for Speed game in 2015 as Beck Customs F132. F1 because it has F1 design elements, and 32 for 32 Ford. A crazy car that was a blast to drive in the game. But the craziest part of this story isn't this wild looking car used in a video game. It's that someone actually started to build this thing in real life. Hey, you've done a lot to it since you got it. What all have you done to it?
Yeah, so I did the turbo kit, I've painted the car, different wheels, different tires, but I've kept like the same aesthetics, because that's really what attracted me to the car to begin with, so I didn't want to change it too much.
I mean, like, the aesthetic of this is pretty cool. It gives you that kind of like raw feel of, you know, rusty bolts. The coolest thing is you have the OG wood from the 1930s in this car. That's insane.
Like, you look at it, like, this is kind of like a roll cage. I just broke our roll cage. It's a piece of wood. Yeah, at one point when I owned it like a couple years ago, it didn't have any rusty bolts or nothing. It was actually very nice.
Yeah.
But then I started driving it, and sometimes I'd get caught in the rain. And yeah, so it's one of these that even though it has slicks, I'm not really like afraid to drive it in the rain, as far as like it's not gonna melt, you know?
Yeah, I'm afraid to drive it in the rain.
It's pretty sketchy in the rain. Like over 25 miles an hour, we gotta like pray.
Now, I would love to drive this car, but unfortunately, it's not really built for a guy that's 7'2". Now, Ricky here, Ricky's a 6'5", and he fits in there perfectly. So I'm gonna see if I can squeeze in and take it for a spin. First impressions is tight, but I've never driven a car hunched over like this before. And I've never driven a car on the hard pocket.
Just no seat?
No seat. Well, let's give it a rip, baby. Guys, I want to get serious with you for a second. There has been a perpetrator in my neighborhood who keeps coming to my door unannounced and ringing my doorbell. And Chewy and I don't like it. I knew I needed some home protection, so I got Simply Safe. Simply Safe is your solution to keep your home secure and get you feeling safe. Get comprehensive security for your entire home, plus sensors and cameras to alert you if there's fire, floods, someone breaking into your house, or someone ringing your doorbell. And unlike traditional home security systems, you'll never be locked into a long-term contract you can cancel at any time. It's easy to install and activate your SimpliSafe system. I installed a doorbell camera, an indoor camera, an outdoor camera, and a keypad in less than an hour. SimpliSafe also has Active Guard outdoor protection. Using advanced AI and live monitoring agents, SimpliSafe cameras detect suspicious activity as soon as someone steps onto your property. Sir, could you please stop ringing Jeremiah's doorbell? Please. Save 50% on your system, and your first month is free when you sign up for Core Monitoring. Visit simplisafe.com/bigtime to customize yours. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. Thank you guys for supporting the companies that support us here at Big Time. And if you see this guy in your neighborhood, watch out. All right, so far so good. Oh yeah. Oh, we're in the money.
That's it.
I'm gonna go straight. I thought these were roosters. They're not.
No, there's roosters everywhere in Miami though.
Sorry, birds.
Oh, you're good, bro. So because the tires are so big, imagine that it has really long gears.
Okay.
So second gear, we could probably hit 60 miles, like more.
Oh, I don't want to go 60 miles an hour.
I'm just saying, you know, so like do first gear and then you gotta rev it out. Second gear, rev it out.
I love that these tires flick everywhere. Holy
Yeah. Well, you can close the windshield, but we're not gonna do that right now. You're for sure the tallest person that has driven this car.
Full focus, don't worry. Hey, if it was good enough in 1930, it's good enough now, baby.
Spindle?
Yeah.
All right, dude, it's gonna get sketchy here, so tell him to slow down.
Oh, my God. Welcome to Florida, baby.
It is a weird experience, right?
I mean, I gotta admit, it is fun to drive. In the rain, not so much.
Yeah.
But
No sketch.
driving sketchy things is fun. Signaling right, taking a right. Do you hand signal ever? No? You don't give a f***. Yeah, baby! Yeah, it shakes a little. That's okay. Uh-oh. Oh, it doesn't go into third.
Does it go to anything?
No. Yeah,
Is there any clutch?
barely anything.
Oh, wow.
Do I go straight or right?
Make it right. See if you can get it to gear.
Definitely during like stop and go. No,
No?
no. Oh, there we go.
Huh. But yeah, that's... Oh, and it's like at a different
Yeah, it's
spot.
way down here.
Yeah.
You want to try it?
Yeah, let me try. All right, so I think we lost the clutch. We got no clutch, so I'm gonna try and attempt to see if we can make it work. I'm not gonna be able to drive it like this.
No way. Definitely during like stop and go.
Yeah, they got no clutch.
You want to push it into this parking lot?
Yeah, let's do that. Well, good thing it weighs nothing.
I know, and I can use the tires.
All right, that's very weird, but
The dangers of driving a car that shouldn't exist. Look at that thing.
yo, and who has a flathead?
Screwdriver?
Yeah,
You don't carry tools in this thing?
I never break down.
Well, that was your first
Hey,
mistake.
I'm not gonna lie, I never break down in this thing.
Really?
Like, honestly,
That's the big time good luck. That's such a lie.
I never break down on this
That's
thing.
such a lie.
Legit.
No way. I don't believe it. Now, when you think of a 1930s rat rod, you probably think under the hood, you're getting a big classic Americana V8. Well, that's not what we have here. We have an S2000 motor with 150,000 miles on it. Barely broken this puppy in. Now attached to this F20 S2000 engine that revs to 9,000 RPM is a 5858 precision turbo, making 16.5 to 17 pounds of boost. That puts out 410 horsepower to the wheels, more than Joby's S14. Also, we have a front-mounted intercooler and a rear-mounted radiator, and everything nicely fits inside this small little engine bay. Now, typically, when guys put custom engines in here, they can't have the hood cowl, but with this engine, you can. Slap it on in there, Kanan. Look at that. Don't even know it's in there. Now, underneath this Model A body is a custom square tube chassis, but really, it's the body that brings you in. So we have the original 1930s steel body. That includes the doors, the handles, and when you look inside here, it even has the original wood they use to strengthen the body. There's nails stuck in it still from 1930s. Now, some of the most visually appealing things are these side scoops and this top scoop. Not only do they look cool, but they also are very functional. They route air to the rear-mounted radiator. Pretty trick. Nothing else like it. Now, Ricky added a scoop here at the front so you can funnel air directly to the turbo. And if we move to the back here, you see Ricky's name on something that's pretty cool. This splitter diffuser bit that moves a little and is more aesthetic than functional. But hey, this is a rat rod. That's what it's meant to do. Look freaking cool. And he updated it with a little LED in it. This is a light from an STI. Does it work too? Guys, nothing on a Subaru works. Not even when they put it on a rat rod. Now up front, we have a custom suspension setup with some geometry that might be a little bit questionable, but that is what gives this car some character. When you drive it, you feel stuff. Does it wobble? Yeah, it does. It does wobble, and that's what makes it cool. These are 31-inch by 16.5-inch wide drag radials, and they're all attached to a stock S2000 rear end. So we're talking about the diff, the axles, all that stuff in the back suspension-wise is from an S2000. Now to drive this thing, I had to take the seats out. Luckily, these are seats from a boat, so they're already kind of removable. There's some sound deadening material in here, which is pretty useless if I'm being honest. Ricky wasted some money. He probably didn't need to do that, but he did. It looks cool. This wiggles. But really, the piece de resistance. Is it resistance?
I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, but really, the piece de resistance is this S2000 dash and the S2000 transmission. These are both stock from an S2000. So you get 9,000 RPM shifts out of a 1930 Model A. Pretty cool. We got a Willwood pedal box, a racing steering wheel, because why not? And one of my favorite additions, aftermarket radio. Pretty cool. There's so much character to this car, but one of the coolest things I like to think about is at one point, this was a factory Model A in 1930, rolling down a dirt road with horses and who knows what else. But now it's in the city of Miami with a JDM motor in it, and Henry Ford is probably screaming in his grave. Now, it doesn't run though, so we gotta get it towed to a shop and see if we can fix it so we can get back on the road and experience driving it just one more time. All right, I'm gonna need help to get out of here. So when your half Model A, half JDM car breaks down, where do you take it? The Porsche dealership. They can fix anything. This is a German guy over there just like, what is this American monstrosity doing here? Oh, f***ing love German cars. What's this piece of shit doing here? Cool shit. Ricky knows everyone. It is what it is. What do we have here? Original wood from the 30s on the frame wheels. Over here too. With factory hardware. Did I weld this? Come look at these. Sorry, did I weld this? It looks like a Jeremiah weld if I've ever seen one.
The seal in the sleeve, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, when it rains, it pours. We were hoping it maybe just was a line that was cracked or broke or, you know, loose banjo bolt. Not the case. Seals inside the slave cylinder or the dom cylinder are bad. At least I got to drive it. Ricky got to drive me around Miami. Thank you guys so much for watching this and everything else on Bigtime. Follow Ricky right here. Follow us right here. Follow me right here. Follow Joe right here. Thank you guys so much for buying merch. We're completely sold out of the anime tee. So if you didn't get it, so sorry. Maybe we'll do a restock in the future. But if you want some other merch, go to bigtime.com. If you'd like to see behind the scenes access, more stuff than we already put on the channel, we have a Patreon. You get 24-hour access before merch drops. So go check that out. Bonus content. It's a whole heck of a lot of fun. And you get to chat with us on the Discord. So thank you guys so much. Love you. Goodbye. It doesn't always work out, Ricky.
All right,
it's all
bro.
good. I fell out. Did you see? He knew something was amiss. He goes, whoa, what the f, man?